Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Remember to bell notification, comment down below, subscribe, and share to get that once a day daily XRP and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and the breaking news and the coin updates that you've come to expect and need every night, each night, as this is your November 21st, 2024 daily XRP and cryptocurrency video. Become a member of Jabroni Killer if you'd like to support the channel for as little as $2.69 a month. It helps us expand our content and creation and continue to make these videos and put them out there to you, the general public. And we're going to start off with some news. XRP Binance inflow spike, what it means for the price. On-chain data shows XRP Binance net inflows have spiked to a positive level recently. Here's what that could mean. Investors of XRP have deposited to Binance recently, as explained by an analyst at CryptoQuant. Quick take post, a large amount of XRP deposit transactions have headed to Binance recently. The on-chain metric of relevance here is that the exchange net flow, which keeps track of the net transfers going in or out of a given centralized exchange. The traditional form, J, of this metric measures the difference between the inflows and the outflow volume for the platform. But in contrast of the current topic, a different version of the indicator is of interest, one that counts the net number of deposits/withdrawal transactions. When the value of the metric is positive, it means that more inflow transfers happening for the exchange than outflows. As one of the main reasons why investors deposit to these platforms is for selling related purposes. This kind of trend can be bearish for XRP. On the other hand, the indicator being negative implies withdrawals are dominant on the exchange. Such a trend can be a sign that holders are interested in holding into the long term, which can naturally have a bullish effect on the price. Now, here is a chart showing the trend in the 30-day moving average of the XRP exchange net flows for Binance over the last couple of years. And there you can see in red is XRP net flow TX count, more inflows. Green is net flow TX count, more outflows. As is visible in the above graph, the XRP exchange net flow for Binance has mostly stayed inside the positive territory during the last 2 years, as you can see right there in the green, which suggests investors have constantly been making withdrawal transactions. However, the metric appears to have diverged from the norm as its value has registered a sharp positive spike. The asset has seen a sharp rally over 54% in the past week, 13% today, the 21st of November. Possible that the traders making the deposits are looking to sell and realize their profits or some profits. Now the main question is selling a potential threat to XRP's short-term value. The indicator is sitting at 470 right now, which suggests significant more inflows than outflows, considering that this also just the 30-day moving average. The peak value is bound to be even higher. With these high numbers of inflow transactions, maybe like danger at first glance, it may actually not be so, since corresponds to activity that mostly from the retail investor. Whales don't tend to leave behind too many transactions, as they prefer to move large amounts with a single transaction. Thus, whenever the version of the exchange net flow spikes, it's a sign that small retail investors are depositing. Naturally, there could still be a few whales transfer among these inflows, which can indeed end up having a negative effect on the XRP price. XRP pulled ahead of the rest of the market with a sharp rally during the past week, which takes its price to $1.09, which now as of today, we have skyrocketed past that $1.09 when this article came out. What's going on here? Seem to be having some technical difficulties here with the old with the old trading view. And if we look at what's going on here with the XRP price, if we zoom in to our full screen, so you, my beautiful audience, can have a better look at what's going on, we'll go into the weekly time frame. And you can see we had, when this chart that we're looking at came out, this was after the blow off top in 17 and 18 on the way down. And then we all know this was the COVID pump, right? And then we had a depressing, long-lasting bear market that started on that faithful night of the Elon Musk sitting up here. Oh, that's XLM. We want XRP. Same similar thing. You can see here is the 2018 flush. And then here was the return rally that started a depressing, debilitating, catastrophic bear market for a lot of the shyster coins that were out there that went belly up, like the FTXs, the BlockFis, the 3 Arrow Capitals, and the rest of those shysters and lending platforms that took and fleeced a lot of people out of hundreds of millions and billions of dollars of their hard-earned money, and they could never get back because the owners of the exchanges either pocketed it and ran off, or they went belly up, in which case they still lost all their money. And you can see we had a bear market that lasted, how many days? 1,316 days, Jay, with a bottom price of about 86.26% decline from its short-term high back here and the COVID pump of 2021, right? And then we had our big long rising channel that's right here. We'll make that a little bit easier to see in pink, and we'll make that a little bit fatter so we can see that. And we were in a rising channel ever since the great dump. And this was your last capitulation that got out a lot of people and was the big flush. And this was when a lot of those lending platforms went bankrupt, right? And a lot of money was lost, never to be seen again, fleeced and shysted out of the retail traders' hands into a few greedy criminals that, for the most part, got away with murder in the sense of stealing your money with the coins. But ever since then, we've been on this epic rally since the Donald J. Trump right here. You can see we've had a string in the daily of, let's count these up for you. How many straight days, Jay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 straight days of green, Jay. And you can see we had a nice volume spike here, right? So that's very positive. But if we do notice in the daily, it's slowly starting to level off here after we've had a recent breakout of a current pattern. But what we did do is, on a technical move, you would take this from the bottom of that move to that first peak up there, and there's your target. And then if we zoom in a little bit closer, Jay, we can see we consolidated quite nicely here into what looked like a pennant flag over the last 6 or 7 days. And if this does break bullish and meet a targeted move, and it's not just a gigantic fake out right now, that's how you get your technical target of all the way up there. We'll put it over here so it lines up. It broke out right there, all the way over here at $2.90, just about $1 below its all-time high, I believe. I think we got into the mid $3 off memory, with major upper resistance sitting up here at $1.94-ish. And then we have major support between the 97 cents and 68 cents on the underside, because this blue trading box was major support and resistance. If we take a quick zoom out, you can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4 major areas of resistance, and then 5 right there, and then 6, 7 back there, and then the major one where we got rejected off that 91 cents back on that faithful day in 2023. It was a major area of resistance. And then when we came back down to try to hold this and flip this critical area as support, we were not able to flip that critical area as support, and we flushed. And we had a major flush after the manipulation and the orchestration of the felonious pump based off of Judge Torres's news. And after we had a 100% pump in one day, about 100.2%, we went from the wick, and that's why we told you back there, and I took a lot of heat, that there would be a better buying opportunity. You don't buy on a single day pump like that. And it went down 55.13%, or a 100% flush from where it started till where it ended. But that really signified, which we didn't know it at the time, was your bottom, because other than floating with it once and then a quick spike down here on July the 24th, we haven't been down there very long. And then we had the Donald J. Trump hyper pump that we're currently in right now. Oh my God, I don't care. None of my audience cares about that. And now we're on the Donald J. Trump hyper pump, and we broke out of this current pattern that we're in right now. So what we're going to look at now, like we were looking at then, is obviously this broke out to the upside. So now what you got to look out for is, do we go straight up in a traded fashion all the way up here to this $1.90 and then form a new local consolidation? Or at some point between where the price is now and this up here, do we have some kind of consolidation? And if we do, at some point there will be a healthy correction. Just, is it going to be at $1.40 or is it going to be at $5? Nobody knows. But say you had a correction in the short term and came back down to this critical 91 cents, you hold it, get some more buyers momentum, and that would be a very, very healthy correction. Or what you would like to see is, you would like to see the big pump keep going, get on top of this 94 cents, hold it, use that as its new base before its next rocket ship, right? So those are the things I'm watching out for in the XRP price in the very, very short term, as we're on a 17 consecutive days in a row of green candles, and we're looking to make that 18 straight days today. And the candle just opened a couple hours ago. If we look at something else that's very important is, of course, it wouldn't show me that there. So we're going to have to come out of the full screen, go back here, which I don't know why that wouldn't show up right below it, the Bitcoin dominance. And if you notice something very, very critical here, the Bitcoin dominance, let's get rid of that. Remove it. Let's make this chart a little clearer so we can see it. These are disgusting. We're just going to hit that, hit that, hit that, get rid of that, hit that, hit that, zoom in here, get rid of that. We want to make this look clear for you. Get rid of that. We haven't showed you the Bitcoin dominance chart in a very long time, but we're going to show you the Bitcoin dominance, something that's been taking place ever since about February of last year, February of 2023, is what you had coming out of, get rid of that. Yes, we can see that's the Bitcoin dominance. We don't need you to tell us. From 2017, after the first great pump in the altcoin season, we had a 62.77% dump in the Bitcoin dominance. And that, get rid of this, and that was its lowest ever on Bitcoin dominance, because a long time ago when there were very little coins, Bitcoin's dominance was always like 80%, 90%, and that 35.41% was the local low in Bitcoin dominance. And one thing about the Bitcoin dominance is, when Bitcoin dominance, we'll put a little tag there, rises, usually people are scared and they're selling out of altcoins and dumping it into Bitcoin because they're scared and they want to go to what they perceive as the safest coin. And you can see right here, from about 2018 of March all the way up until September 19th, leading up into the fateful COVID hysteria, Bitcoin dominance was rising. But then as you had an altcoin explosion in late 2020 and in the early springtime of 2021 through about the early summertime, Bitcoin dominance was in a bear market. People were selling their profit in Bitcoin and putting them in the altcoins, right? And it was a very good time briefly for altcoins rallied really specifically hard in this springtime area right here. In the very early going of when Bitcoin dominance started to sell off, they were taking profit and trying to find the next runner from March, April, May, and June. During this time right here, there was a big spike in all the altcoins across the board, of new altcoins, old altcoins, meme coins of the time. they were hyper pumping, right? Where did my Bitcoin dominance go? Fuck. Really, it's just going to disappear? My Bitcoin dominance? So now we got to find that again. That's crazy. Back up there. I don't know where he just went. But that was a big, big hyper pump right there as they were selling the profits out of Bitcoin and dumping into all the altcoins that they could find. Then as Bitcoin dominance started stagnating, the alt season started to die, started to sell off. And from about February, the late November of 2022 until current time, Bitcoin dominance has been rising, right? And then Bitcoin price bottomed out and started to rise off of its 50% correction from its all-time high. And what we're looking at here is if we have another big, because you're coming up to a major resistance zone in the Bitcoin dominance, and we're beginning to see an alt season take place. If we do see something similar to this in Bitcoin dominance right here, at the beginning of this, as Bitcoin's approaching 100,000, if Bitcoin dominance starts to sell off because people are taking profit out of Bitcoin, are they going to see the same thing that they've seen twice before and see these altcoins start to rally and they start to sell off some of their profit in Bitcoin after making several 100% and try to catch the next trend or the next major pump up in altcoin season 2.0 or 3.0 now, right? That would be something to pay attention to. And in the short term, what we've noticed recently after almost 2 straight years of monthly green candles in Bitcoin dominance, you notice recently right here on November the 21st, we started having a subtle turnaround where Bitcoin dominance has started to sell off, meaning there could be some people selling some profit out of Bitcoin and starting to pump into the altcoins, or the new money that's coming in is more of that new money going in to the altcoins instead of Bitcoin. And that's something that I'm going to pay attention to over the next several months. Do we get a big drop down in Bitcoin dominance and a big push, an even bigger push than we already have right now? Because even though the altcoins have rallied a couple of 100% across the board, some of them are still down 60, 70, 80% from their highs. So they still have a lot of room to move to the upside. And that's something that I'm paying attention for you, my beautiful audience, right? And that's something that we're going to have to continue to pay attention for. And if we look at the XLM price, now that we've looked at the Bitcoin dominance and we've looked at, we can extend this out now, that we're not going to change its line, but we're just going to extend it out because the price has moved into the future more. So we'll move that out more. Yesterday when we were talking, we were sitting down in this area, and today we've had a big spike up, and we actually did hit our first target and just touched the top of that green resistance box that's sitting up there. We'll just move that up here to make it easier, at about 29 cents. And I believe we officially did hit 29 cents. And what we're going to watch out for now is this going to continue in the same pattern where we come back down to support at 24 cents, then come back up and break it, come back? Or are we going to finally, instead of just playing this pattern back and forth until an eventual breakout somewhere down here into the future, are we going to get another consolidation and then have a big hyper pump again and get on top of this 36 cents and try to make it towards another all-time high or another regional high? And this is something that I was talking about with just the Bitcoin dominance just now. And just like XRP, we've had 17 or 18 straight days. You can see we've had a very, very big pump, and we're going to get rid of some of this because we're zoomed out now, and I should have kept the one, but it's gone now. We'll just put it back later. But from its all-time high back here during the hysteria, we were around 80 cents. We dumped down about 91.23%, but we're still down at current price from its all-time high. We're getting closer to its all-time high, but we're sitting down here at about 28 cents. We're still 64% from its all-time high. So there's still a lot of room. And now that it's showing signs of life, is this another catalyst for some people to sell out of the Bitcoin and pump into these altcoins, seeing as now they're going to see a 200% move? Now they might be thinking and feeling more confident that at least the old high is going to take place, or maybe even a new high in these altcoins, right? And that's what we're watching out for in the XLM price. Let's put that back. Oops, we need to be in the hour time frame. Let's put that back on what we had there, our little current pattern that we're in. Go from the high, hit that, and extend it out like so. And then we will put another one right below it, just so we have that when we come back tomorrow on our daily video. And it's something like that, right? You're hitting your support, your resistance. And that's something that we're going to be paying attention to, because if we go and look, and now Bitcoin is actually breaking out to the upside again. If we go look, you can see Bitcoin is extremely bullish, obviously, post-COVID pump, and continues to rise. And as do these other altcoins, they continue and continue to rise, and we'll continue to keep you updated on the current state of the market. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love, my beautiful audience.